Hello everyone, this is Sudhanshu, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical Engineering, Narula Institute of Technology. Today I am going to give a lecture on the subject Power System 1. The subject is designed for Electrical Engineering 5th semester students. So here for BTech 5th semester students, there are some topics like basic concept of electric supply system. That part is already done. Now the electrical design of overhead transmission line is also completed, and today basically I'm going to give a lecture on the generation of electric power. So from this module already the one lecture is already completed. So right now I'm going to talk about the introduction of solar and wind energy system. So this is the course outcome of Power System 1. In the course outcome, we have 3 course outcome in this particular subject. The first one is understand the concept of power system, then know various power system components and define associated terms. And CO2, know different types of power generation, and CO3 is understand basic performance of power system. So these are the 3 course outcome for this particular subject. Now today's content, the topic is the wind and solar power system. The introductory topic is this one. So today's contents are the introduction, wind, electric, then the solar electric, after that wind and solar electric, then the advantage of the solar and wind energy, then the limitation, applications, and finally some future scope will be there after the conclusion. So these are the topic of today's discussion. So let me talk about the introductory part. So the introduction about the solar and wind power station. So the introduction is today, the world is progressing at quite a fast rate with the use of conventional sources of energy. If you follow, you will find that the maximum part of the world, the power generation is from conventional energy source like thermal power station, like nuclear power station was there, but the pollution is increasing day by day, and the storage of the material, the fuels, the coal is going to be shorted day by day. So for that reason, the scientists, the engineers are thinking some substitute power generation system. But up to this, before 20 years back, the maximum power generation of the world was the conventional source of energy. And then this part, the 2 major disadvantages of using them, that means the conventional energy sources, are the environmental pollution created by its use and its limited quantity. That is one of the disadvantages. And in number 3, so it's the time to think for switching on the non-conventional sources. So for that very reason, there are some few disadvantages of conventional energy sources. So for that reason, we have to think for some non-conventional energy sources. So for that reason, the solar and wind is a substitute way to generate the power, and we have to think for that nowadays. Now, if you follow, you will find it's a very simple, the diagram of a solar and wind hybrid power station. So this is the wind turbine, this part is the wind turbine, and it's the PV array. Now the system is same for both the cases. The PV array or the solar panel is basically generating the power with the help of the sun, the ray of the sun, and the wind turbine is basically generating the power with the help of the wind, the speed of the wind. Now both are connected with the solar. Look here, the wind solar hybrid are connected here. Now this part is connected with the battery bank. Now through the inverter, the power is converting to DC loads. So both the cases, the wind turbine and the solar PV cell, both are generating DC power. So they are connected with a wind solar hybrid controller, and then it is coming to the battery bank, and through the inverter the DC power is converted to the AC loads. So this is the basic picture, the basic diagram of the introductory part, that how the solar and winds are connected and they generate the power. This slide is actually showing that. Now I already talked in the first slide that there is a pollution problem in the world, and if you observe, it will be clear to you that in India, the pollution from the power plants. So look, the hydroelectric power plant, the pollution in India is approximately 6.5%. The overall pollution. The nuclear is responsible for 10.3%. The natural gas is 18.7%. The petroleum is 3%, and the coal, that is the thermal power plant, the coal is responsible for the maximum, approximately 50%. That means 49.7% responsible for the pollution of this coal. And the last one is the others. There are different types of other sources which makes our environment polluted. So this is the overall pollution scenario from different types of power plants in India. So for that reason, we have to think for some non-conventional energy source, so which is less polluted. So one of them is wind power plant, and another one is the solar power plant. Now, what is wind energy and what is the advantage of it? Let me talk about that. The first one is converts wind energy into the electrical energy. Okay. So here, with the help of this wind power, we basically convert the energy of wind into the electrical energy. Now it has some other advantages like no fuel cost, because no fuel is used to run the blade of the wind. So for that reason, it does not need any fuel, or no fuel cost is involved with it. Now, and obviously it is free from pollution because no fuel is burning. So no question of the pollution. So it is obviously free from pollution. So these are the advantage of the wind energy. Now, if you follow this figure, you will find that for a wind power, how it is working. So let me talk on that. The working procedure is very simple. Some blade will be there, and then for the energy of the wind, with the help of the blade, and there is the induction generator. So through that, the power is generating, and then a transformer, step up transformer is here. So with the help of this transformer, it is transmitted to the consumer end. Now the requirements. So what are the requirements for a wind energy? The wind is giving pressure to the blade. Now there is some rotor blade. Inside the backside of the blade, there is a gearbox and nacelle is there. Then induction generator is there. Then after generating the power, it is coming to the power cable. and then this part is called the tower, and with the help of the transformer, the power is flowing to the switch here, to the tower. So this is the very basics of the wind power. Now let me talk about the solar energy. So what is solar energy? Look here. For solar energy, sun rays converted into electrical energy. So for the wind, it was wind to converted to the electrical energy. Here sun rays converted to the electrical energy. Now in the second part, it has unlimited supply. This is one of the advantages. The third is no negative impact, because sun rays is obviously it is good for the world, it's good for the environment. It is also free from cost, like the last one. The wind power is free from cost. The running cost is totally free for the wind and also for the solar. And the most important part is the free from pollution. So both are free from pollution. If you think about the wind, if you think about the solar, both are free from pollution. Actually, we have to save the world for the pollution for the next generation, because if continuously the different types of fossil fuels are burning, the coal is burning, so pollution will increase. That is very harmful for the coming years, for the next generation. So we have to think on the pollution mostly. So this is the connection diagram of that how it is working and what are the requirements. So in this figure, I just explain that. So here's the PV solar plant, and then to the battery, it is directly connected with different electrical devices. So we can use the solar power both in AC form and DC form. And the requirement is the solar panel is one of the most requirement, because with the help of this solar panel, basically the power is generating. Then there is a controller is connected. From the controller, the battery storage, we can store the solar energy through the battery. The charge is in charging condition, and at night we can also use this charge to running our fan, light, and different electrical electronics devices. Then inverter, it helps to convert the power from DC to AC, and now you are ready to power your AC application after converting from DC to AC. So these are the basic requirements, and this is the working principle of the solar electric. Now this one is the wind solar electric. So wind solar electric means it's a hybrid system. Hybrid means both are connected. How both are connected? Look here, the wind generator. So this figure, a wind generator is connected, and also a solar panel is connected. So they are connected directly to the battery bank, and then both are connected directly with the battery bank. From the battery bank, the inverter is also connected, and from the inverter we are converting from DC to AC power, and then through the meter it is going to the utility grid, and the household purpose we can use this power as an AC power. So off-grid wind solar hybrid system, this is called the off-grid. That means it is not connected with the grid. Now the hybrid power system combined multiple sources to deliver non-intermittent electric power. So here also the PV module and also the wind turbines are connected to the battery bank through regulation and conversion, and then it's connected to the generator, this part. So generator is basically helping to step up or step down the voltage level, and then with the help of the converter we take AC. If we use the converter, we'll get DC to AC, and you can someone can also use the DC directly for the use of their household. Now, the solar and wind both has some geographical region, like average solar rays 5 kilowatt hour square meter, and 2300 to 3200 sunshine hours available per year, available most part of the country in India. So this is one of the most advantage for our country like India for installing the solar panel. And the wind, what are the facilities in India for wind? It has obviously some disadvantages, but we have some geographical region, or we have some advantages also, like annual average wind speed is 5 to 6 meter per second. Attractive option to supplement the energy supply. So for that reason, this wind power has a very good future, a country like us. Now, the hybrid system. So let me talk about the hybrid system. The thing made by combining two or more different power sources. Need of hybridization for increasing output. Yes, if you want more output, then the hybridization is very important. For fulfilling demand of the consumer, it is important. Providing uninterrupted power supply, hybridization is important, because sometimes if the system is hybrid, then if solar panel is not working, then wind power can give supply, and wind is under maintenance, or if there is some fault, then solar can give supply. So this is the advantage for providing the uninterrupted power supply. And the last one is system can design for both off-grid and on-grid. If it's a hybrid system, so we can design our system like off-grid and on-grid. We can operate the system in both way. That is the most advantageous part. Now, the working of the solar and wind turbine produced is given here. So look, the solar and wind turbine produces DC power. You all know that directly it is producing the direct current. Now with the help of the inverter, we convert DC to AC. So here look, the wind turbine and the solar panel is connected with the charge controller. Then with that, it is connected to the battery bank, and with the help of the battery inverter, we take the power. So inverter convert DC to AC, and controller monitors the system. So this is the basic, very basic working principle. So it's a very introductory part of the solar and wind. So I'm not going to the detail. And now efficiency. So what are the efficiency? Look here. So solar without tracking, it's 15%. With tracking, it's 23%. And for wind, without tracking, the efficiency is 55%, and with tracking, we can increase the efficiency up to 72%. So for that reason, it has great advantages. Now, let me talk about the advantages of both the solar and wind power. So one of the most advantages is the cost saving. One-time investment is there. The first time it has a huge investment, but after that the running cost is very low. The low maintenance cost, no pollution, there's no question of pollution for both the cases. So that is one of the most advantageous part of both solar and the wind power. The system can be designed for both off-grid and on-grid applications. And then better efficiency and easy installation. So the efficiency is very good. I already discussed that, and the installation is not so tough, and the life is longer than the other power plants. Now this is the limitations the infrastructural cost may be high. Yes, the installation cost, the infrastructure cost is maybe high, too labor intensive, and not for large scale production. That is the limitation of both the cases, both for solar and wind power. And the application, you all know that we can use both solar and wind power in all the cases where the power is required. The application is very vast. We can use this both power, the power which is generating through wind power or solar power. We can use this power in all the sector where the power is required. So that is the advantageous part, because we can convert DC to AC, and we can also use the DC current, DC power from both the sources. Let me talk about the future scope. The future, if you think about the future scopes, in future we can build more sophisticated and less space consuming hybrid system that can handle more loads. Yes, this is the future scopes, and already the scientists and engineers are working on it. They're doing research regular basis for the modernization of the system. Then solar based home system. In some countries they already implemented this, and in our country like India, in the South India, they are already using the solar based home systems and the photovoltaic tree. You can implement this. This will be great. It has a great future. So these are the future scopes. Now I'm going to the conclusion of the lecture. By this project, many villages can be lighted. For villages which are much away from the construction site of large power generating stations such as hydro and nuclear can be provided power. Yes, using the solar power, using the wind power, we can give the facility to use the electricity in a very rare place where practically it is not possible to send the power with installing the tower that's 1,000 kilometers away from the power plant. So that area we can give the supply, and the development will automatically become if power is there. So this is the advantage for solar and wind. We can install it anywhere. But it has some limitations, so but that not so much. If we try, we can solve the problem also. The limitation, we can avoid the limitation also. And also to satisfy the increasing demand of electricity with hybrid power station. And with the solar and wind, we can satisfy the demand of electricity in the near future. So it is very important for that. And both the power has a great futures. And the conclusion part, the solar spill, this is the wind spill, this is the oil spill, this is the nuclear spill. Look, we have choices, support clean energy. So obviously, the wind and solar is giving us more safe, pollution-free world. So you have to think for these two for the next generation. These are the reference I used to make this video. Now, thank you all. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any queries, any question, please contact with me. I'll be available to answer. Thank you all.